It's not about falling down. It's about how fast you can get up after you have fallen down. That's where the magic is.
Discover what it takes to be a world-class entrepreneur.
No success story ever happened without any struggle at the beginning.
And how you can have it all from the greatest minds in business.
Why do you think people give up when business gets tough?
Welcome to the Woman Entrepreneur Podcast. Here is your host, international award-winning entrepreneur and founder of Woman Entrepreneur, Erna Basson.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Erna Basson, and today is an awesome, exciting day for the podcast. If you have ever wondered how you are going to stand out on social media or how you actually get your video to go viral like Gary Vee, I've got the guy that's going to tell you how to do it. Ken, welcome to the show.
Hi, Erna. Thanks for inviting me. And I'm glad that that video caught your attention. It's something that I just made recently because Gary really is the master of social media, isn't he?
Oh, yeah. No, Gary Vee has all these ducks in a row. And when I saw the video, actually, I'm like, I need to watch this. I think it was like 4.5 minutes, 5 minutes long.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah, it was really great content and a very catchy headline. I think that caught me is like how the Media marketing machine works, correct?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, so no, very great headline. So first of all, give us a 30-second breakdown of who is Ken.
So basically, I'm from Japan, and I used to host these large-scale seminars in Japan for businesses.
Yeah.
We have multi-speakers. We brought Tony Robbins, a lot of the top speakers.
Wow.
And through that, I realized that's not what I want to do with my life. It was something that was very lucrative, yet not something that really excited me too much. So I quit that business, and now I run a marketing agency.
Okay.
We do content creation and marketing because I'm leveraging basically the world's best at a lot of things who spoke on my stage. I'm leveraging them as my clients now to be able to really create the best content in the world for social media and attract the right kind of people for my clients.
Amazing. And with today being 2018, social media is king.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You can't get a better ROI anywhere else that I know for your content and marketing efforts than on social media.
Of course. And in terms of video and social media, have you always been passionate about it, or did your journey start a bit different to what it is today?
Video itself, ever since I was a teenager, I've absolutely loved it. I'm going to explain a really quick story. When I was very young, I went to Uganda to film a documentary. And the documentary was about an educational project going on. And through making this documentary film, I actually met the woman who became my wife in Uganda. I found her in my view. So from very early on, filmmaking has been something that I'm passionate about. I love it. And recently I've adapted my passion for filmmaking and video making to social media and how it can connect to personal branding and really the bottom line in people's businesses.
Yeah. And I know you touched on personal branding right now. I speak a lot on personal branding is so important, and there's a big difference between personal branding and your own business branding. What would you say is that difference?
Well, the big difference is that, for example, a lot of people ask me that same question. They say, I want to do stuff on social media. I want to be able to produce content. I know I need to get people's attention. What should I put first, my face, or should I put my product or my logo? And my answer is always the same. It's put your face out there first. Because if you look at every single successful entrepreneur who's really had a lot of success, they've switched tracks at least once in their life, sometimes 5 or 6 times. For example, Elon Musk, he's gone and made PayPal, he's made SpaceX, he's made Tesla. He's done and done so many different technologies. What's the one thing in common? It's Elon Musk. People remember him. Therefore, whatever the next venture is that he does, they will remember his face, remember that they trusted him in the past, and they feel like they can trust him again and do business with him again in the future. So I always say that's the only constant in your life is yourself. So put all your investment into the brand, which is you.
Yeah, I love that. And when you are consulting your clients, what is the number one problem everyone is experiencing, and what is your answer to that?
So I think that the biggest hurdle people have to face is they think, they look at people who are really doing well, right? For example,
Gary Vee.
Cardone, Vaynerchuk. Yeah. And the one thing they have is they've got a huge amount of content. And that's something I call market flooding, where they put out a lot of content that's relevant to their brand, to their company, to what they represent. And they do it on a very, very high volume basis. Now, a lot of people see that and say, well, I can't do that. It's just way too much. It's something that I'm shy just talking on my phone with the video camera on. So that's the biggest challenge I face, is how am I going to do this like Gary's doing, for example, when I'm just one guy with a small business and an even smaller team in many cases. That's the biggest
struggle. And budget. I mean, people don't have those type of budgets that Gary Vee or Grant Cardone has. I think both of them actually has a personal video guy that goes with them everywhere they go. And they just shoot, document. That's all they do.
Yeah. Well, that's actually how I got started doing something similar to that. I provided a service for different personalities where I would go and document and create that content and put it out for them. And then I realized I don't want to be a cameraman for the rest of my life. So I figured, how can I systematize this so that we can get as much footage as possible in as little time and make sure it's still highly engaging, make sure that it's brand relevant, and most of all, make sure that it's going to take as little of their time as possible. Because the one thing all business owners and entrepreneurs have in common is they want to get the most value out of the time they have, because they're very, very busy people. So once I figured out the system, then the rest has been very, very easy.
Yeah. And so is this a program, or what is the system?
Well, currently, it's the actual service I provide as an agency, but I realized that in order to help more people, because I have actually quite a long waiting list of people who want to work with my company, and I realized I'm never going to get around to this entire waiting list. It's just too long. So I had to create a system where I could train people so that they could do it themselves, or so that they can hire somebody to do it for them. And it's something I call 52 and 2, where there's a bit of homework and groundwork and research required, but the actual time it takes for the entrepreneur himself, the face of the company, is only 2 days per year, and they can get all of their content done. And it's going to be highly engaging, brand relevant, and make sure that you attract only the right kind of people who are likely to become your clients.
That's amazing. And how do our listeners and viewers get hold of that program?
So after this, I'm going to send you a link, and it's going to get people in. And the first step really is before you do this, because it usually takes me a few days to teach people how to do this and a bit of training. But I really think the first step is learn how to do something using just your iPhone, right? This iPhone is way more powerful than the cameras that I started using when I was a professional.
Oh, yeah, I totally agree with you.
So I'm going to drop a link in there where it's completely free training, where I'm going to show you how, and this is something that's really important. The videos you put out there, all of them that got millions of views, a million plus views, they have two things in common. Okay, they've got a big bold title on top, which is number one, really important, because when people are on their phones, they're just scrolling. They're not looking for you. They're randomly looking, and you've got about 3 seconds you've got 0.3 seconds to grab their attention on the timeline. And then in the first 3 seconds of the video, you've got to grab their attention to watch the next 3 seconds, the next 3 seconds, and so forth. So I have a tutorial how you can create that title on the top and your captions down below, all using only your iPhone in less than 10 minutes.
That's amazing, because we are covering a lot that I want to actually ask in the question. So please send me that link, and I will put it up in all the places where this will go, and we'll make sure everyone gets hold of you. Now, the burning question everyone has is how do I stand out on social media where it's flooded with content? YouTube is flooded, Instagram is flooded, Facebook is flooded. How am I, as an entrepreneur, going to compete with the Gary Vees and the Grant Cardone and the Tony Robbins? How am I going to get seen and known? Well,
first of all, you got to realize that there's only one you. There's only one Erna Basson. There's only one Ken Okazaki. There's only one Tony Robbins. And number one, you're not competing with them, because you are not them. They are competing to become the best version of themselves, and you need to compete to become the best version of yourself. So first, let's get that clear. There are strategies we can borrow from them, but the biggest mistake people say is, I want to be the next Tony Robbins. I want to be the next Gary Vee. And it almost always ends in disaster.
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree with you. Yeah.
So first of all, each of them have a uniquely different style. Okay, they like, for example, someone called Ty Lopez has a style that a lot of my friends, they say I would never do that, or I could never buy anything from him. You know, he's the guy who made that video. It says here in my garage with his Lamborghini. And
yeah, and he's he was shooting videos with a lot of girls as well, and then people were like,
exactly.
Wow, there's so many girls in your videos. So yeah,
exactly. So that's again somebody whose style is very polarizing with someone like Tony Robbins, for example. But he attracts a different type of audience that kind of content appeals to. So you just got to realize it's a different audience you're looking for. So number one, your question was, how do you compete when the space is so crowded? Don't compete against these guys. Make sure you become the best version of yourself. Find what about you is unique. Number two, perseverance. Gary's wine library show, I think he made something like 600 videos before the first one hit 1,000 views.
That's amazing.
I want that to sink in. Who could make 600 videos every day, edit, publish them every single day, and not see 1,000 views on a video yet? That's the difference between the people who are dabbling and doing a hobby and the people who are in it to win it, right?
Yeah.
And so, but at the same time, that same strategy is not going to work on YouTube because there are too many people trying to do a similar thing. And to really stand out, the space is much more crowded than it used to be. So personally for me, what I do with my clients is I say, let's start on Facebook, because Facebook has a much more interactive audience than YouTube. And with YouTube, people love these 10-minute series, okay? 10 minutes is really the golden number for YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And people want each episode to build on the last one.
Yeah.
Now, that's great if you have a captive audience. But it takes a very long time to build this. And
of course,
I work with entrepreneurs who don't like to take a long time to do things. They want results quickly.
Exactly.
Exactly. So Facebook, you can get your audience, find your audience much faster because their targeting tools are much more precise. Targeting by location, by age, by gender, by income level, by education level. These are all things that can help you find the audience. Now, a lot of people really got upset when Mark Zuckerberg tweaked a few things in the algorithm and made it so that Facebook pages got a lot less exposure than personal profiles. Now, when I heard that news, I was actually very happy because here's the difference. Number one, Mark Zuckerberg made a decision that is a long-term play for Facebook. It makes sure that Facebook stays a healthy place where people are not becoming emotionally damaged by all this marketing going on. So that number one tells me that he's really looking at Facebook not as a cash cow, but as a long-term company that's going to really stay around for a long time. Number two, I was happy because of everybody who was complaining that they were getting less reach, because that tells me there's a lot of people who are not willing to pay money to get visible, to get noticed.
Yeah.
And so the fewer people that are paying, the cheaper it is for me and for my clients to just pay a little bit of money and get their content noticed right away. So for the people who refuse to pay, it's too bad for them. For the people who are running a real business where they understand the strategies where you can put $1 in and take $5 out,
exactly,
they're going to win the biggest.
Exactly. And I have a saying that nobody appreciates free. And you have to always invest. If you are expecting someone to invest with you, you need to invest into that to get to that result. Mm-hmm. So I think it was a smart move by Zuckerberg to change those algorithms to make it more difficult. So are you saying that if you want to get known, Facebook is the first place to go, create a killer video and put an ad behind it?
Well, here's the problem number two. People think that when you make a video, especially if you're just getting started, the old model is make an ad, put it on TV or a magazine that sends people straight to your shop and make a purchase. Now, it's not the same as it used to be. The way I see it, there are 3 stages where people need to go through in order to become a true fan. And if you're familiar with the term true fan, have you heard of that before?
True fan. I think I saw it on your Facebook page or something, but no.
Okay, so really briefly, a true fan is somebody who loves and trust you so much that they will buy everything you create.
Wow.
Without question. For example, I am a true fan of Apple. I have every single Apple product. I'm on a MacBook Pro right now. I've got an iPad next to me. I've got an Apple Watch here.
Wow.
Like, if they make it, I'll buy it. And the reason why Apple is winning so much, and yeah, they do mess up. They're not perfect, but they win so much because they have more true fans than any other company in the world.
Totally agree. Yeah.
There are people who are true fans of Celine Dion. They will buy every single one of her albums. They'll go to every single one of her concerts. There are people who are true fans of every successful brand. They have a core of true fans.
Yeah.
And people have to go through 3 stages before they become a true fan. Stage number 1 is they have to be attracted to you. So first of all, we make videos and we boost these videos just for engagement. We get people to just watch and share these videos. And we put a little bit of money behind this, okay? Yeah. And these are videos where you're addressing people's pain points. What is the biggest problem that your target audience is having? I'm gonna assume that because you work with female entrepreneurs, one of their pain points might be that they feel some gender inequality in the workplace. Is that something you talk about?
Female entrepreneurs, no, not really, because they work for themselves. So we screw that. We will just create our own. But the biggest thing that female entrepreneurs are experiencing is that lack of support structure, lack of networking, and lack of information.
Yeah. So what you're going to want to do is
exactly where we come in.
So what you want to do is you want to talk about their biggest pain point, what that is, the lack of the support system, the lack of the network. And then all of a sudden they feel like, hey, Erna gets me. She understands. Right? And then instead of facing each other, all of a sudden they're standing shoulder to shoulder next to you. They feel like we're on the same team. Like she gets it. She's been through it. I'm interested. Okay, so you boost some videos and get them to watch this. The next videos they're going to watch, which you can use Facebook's algorithms to, there's a lot of ways you can set this up. Automatically, the next video of you they're going to see is specific strategy on how to fix that pain point. Okay, now you can tell them what they need to do, but not how they need to do it. Okay, so you're going to say, look, here's what you need to do. You need to find A, B, C, and D and execute A, B, C, and D. Okay, make a series of videos, really short, that builds on the first one where they felt like, number 1, you understand them. Number 2, you've got some solutions. Okay, that's stage 2. So first we're going to attract them with the video where you feel a connection, right? Stage 2, you're going to advise them. And after they watch these other videos, stage 3 is where you're going to endear them to you. You want them to literally fall in love with you. And if you've ever read a textbook in school, you probably thought this is good information, but you're not going to fall in love with the author because you don't know who they are. You don't know what they look like, what they eat for breakfast, what they do on weekends. All you know is the information. So you've got to take it one step further and become the person who they feel they can know and trust very closely. What do you eat for breakfast? Where do you work out? Where do you network? What are your pet peeves? What's your vulnerability? Now, these videos are not specific to what your service or your brand is. It's specific to who you are and what makes you unique. Now, this is the endearment stage. If you're gonna get into a relationship with somebody, if you have a fiance or you're married, you know all these minor details about their life. And the more you know, the more you like them. Yeah. As a person. So this is the endearment stage. And this is the kind of video that needs to go on a regular basis where people feel like they know you. Now, if you get people through all these stages where they watch a video, number 1, where they feel like you understand them and you know what they're going through and you've got answers. Number 2, you give them advice on how to solve their problems. Number 3, they have a lot of information about who you are as a person, not as a service or as a brand. Then the 4th stage is they are your true fan. If you did those first three steps properly, they will become a true fan and they will buy anything you give them if you targeted the right people. Yeah. So the saying goes, add value, then sell. That is exactly what I heard right in this presentation from you, saying that you need to attract, you need to fix pain points, and then make them fall in love with you. Because I think a lot of people are getting it the wrong way, is that they go for the sell immediately without adding the value first. Almost everybody, you know? That's the one thing that I have a struggle with my clients a lot about. They're just like, let's make some sales. When can we hit this ROI? And my favorite thing that Gary Vaynerchuk said that sticks with me is when he said, "What's the ROI of your mother?" Right? When she, when you came home crying from school because you got bullied, was she thinking, if I comfort him in this way, will he get a better job that will support me when I'm old? No, she loves you, therefore she'll do anything for you. Right?
I haven't heard that one. I haven't. Wow, that's crazy. I love that. I love that saying. It just makes you think a bit deeper,
Yes, really. So if you look at your clients that way, it's like, is it worth it sharing this information or these details about my life or about my struggles or about how my business is going? Then you think, like, if they were my child, would I think of it as what's the ROI? Would I think I'm just sharing because I love them?
Yeah. And these 3 stages of getting a person to become a true fan, is that then monitored with a CRM system, or is it a retargeting with new ads and new ads and new ads?
There is, let me just explain a little bit how this works. First of all, there's a problem about Facebook's videos versus YouTube. When you put a video on YouTube, it stays alive there for a very long time.
Yeah.
It pops in search feeds for years and years and years. Facebook, you got about a 1-week span before it just kind of fades away to oblivion. And maybe some celebrity will share it, and then it'll have a second viral cycle. But it doesn't happen very often. So number one, I don't encourage making new videos all the time because of the fact that unless you're Gary Vee, unless you have a huge amount of stamina, a lot of people aren't able to make it, okay? And if that's you, if you can do it, do it. Otherwise, I've got strategies to work around the fact that most humans aren't going to do it, right? A lot of people, they join my agency, and I tell them that it's like joining a gym. You joined because you saw that ripped body on the poster, right?
Exactly.
The toned abs, and you look down at the mirror, and you've got a little bit of a pudgy midsection, and you're like, I want that. So you go to the gym. But after about a month going to the gym, a few things are going on. Number one, you're completely sore. Number two, your body's not looking any better. And number three, you just spent a lot of money and saw 0 results.
Yeah.
Right? And the only way that someone can stay on past that stage is if they're looking at what the potential is. They got to keep looking at that poster and say, I can be that if I stick through the program. Now, because of that, that's why a lot of people don't make it long-term publishing a whole lot of videos, which is why I create a system where they work intensely with me and my team, or I'm going to start training people to do it themselves with their own teams and just spend 2 days per year and create very high quality content. But let's get back to what you're saying about creating a lot of content. First of all, in those 2 days, you can create enough content to bring new people constantly into your track to bring them to become true fans. Now, this happens on a continuous basis, and the reason why it doesn't matter whether it's old or new is because you're setting up the algorithms, the retargeting, to hit only new people all the time with a set monthly budget. Okay?
Oh, okay. So you need to have someone that knows their stuff with Facebook ads, basically.
Yes, and that's going to be in the training too,
yeah.
where we teach you how to do this. But it's all systematically programmed so that they have to watch a certain video first. And only after they watch this video, at least 50% will these next videos become available. And it all, to them, things are just randomly appearing on their newsfeed, okay? But, and to them it seems random, and everything makes sense because it builds on the previous topic that you talked about. But as far as you go, you've got all the paths lined up and programmed to make sure they watch them in the correct sequence. For example, if they see a video of you talking about your favorite shampoo, they're going to say, who's Erna and why should I care about her shampoo?
Exactly.
But if they saw a video of you saying, you know what, there was a time when I almost gave up and completely quit my business and sold everything because I had no money left and I was at the end of my rope and there was nobody I could call, there was no support. But I just remember there's this one guy who I saw speaking and I thought maybe if I give him a call, maybe he'll understand. So you tell your story about that. Then this emotional story, they feel like this Erna woman gets me. Yeah. And then later on, you give them some advice. And then later on, if you talk about your favorite shampoo, they're like, oh, so that's what a successful person like Erna does. And they're going to feel close to you. So there's a logical sequence these have to be shown in.
Wow, that's amazing. Because I haven't really dived that deep into Facebook ads. It's just, you know, just like, I think the normal person meaning people that don't work with Facebook ads all the time would be like, okay, location, demographic, age, and I'm done. And it doesn't work like that.
There's a very specific sequence.
Yeah.
You got to know where they are and at what stage they are in the relationship with you. Just like you wouldn't talk about what house to buy on a first date with a man, right? That comes way later.
you will run. No, okay. So back to looking at video content. Every third post currently on Facebook is like someone's trying to sell you something. Like everyone tries to sell you something. What are the characteristics of a great sales video?
Well, first of all, one of the great characteristics is that the only people that see a sales video are the people who are your true fans.
Yeah.
Okay? The sales video doesn't go out to the public. You're just wasting money. Unless, okay, if you're selling a product, let's say, I don't know, a fancy wallet, that has some nifty trick,
Yeah.
For $50. Yeah, that's fine. But I have a feeling that the people watching this video are not in the
product
50, the I don't know, $30 to $70 range products. That's people will make an impulse buy, especially on Kickstarter. That's been very successful. Tell me a little bit about what type of advertising you're talking about, because there's different strategies for different things.
Yeah, so if some of our clients have product-based or not clients, but members have product-based companies. So advertising a product. So for the one lady that I'm immediately thinking of, she does bridesmaid dresses in Australia. So she sells bridesmaid dresses. What will be a great ad for her versus someone that is trying to sell an online program?
Now, tell me about this bridesmaid's dress. Is this something that they need to go to her shop physically and get fitted?
Both. So they can shop it online or they can have custom made.
Okay, and what is she trying to sell? Is she trying to sell people to come to her shop so she can upsell more things
yes.
to do with right? Okay, so that's the ideal customer that is going to be in a location they can drive to, right? Mm-hmm. And what's the price range?
Oh, I've got no idea, but it's all, I don't know her shop so well, but what we can do is we can play with one of my companies. It's a hair extension business, right? So how would I advertise hair extensions to obviously just females? Price ranges is anything between $280 to about $700.
Okay, and forgive me, I don't know much about hair extensions, but again, is this something that people buy and it comes in the mail, or do they go to a salon to get it?
It gets delivered straight to the door.
Okay, so it's a do-it-yourself thing.
Yeah, it's you buy it online, we deliver it straight to you. Yeah.
Well, so this is definitely something that is there high competition in this space?
Yeah, especially internationally, massive. Australia, massive. New Zealand, yeah, but not so bad as in Australia and the US.
So the thing I'm not understanding is what makes yours unique.
Yeah.
Why would people want to buy from you, Erna?
You know what? Our extensions are really amazing quality, and it comes with like everything that you want to have that you need to buy from the other companies. So like I always say like a Mercedes-Benz, and I'm so sorry for anyone that watches this from Merck. I'm so sorry, but it's like when you drive a Mercedes-Benz, everything you have to have in your car needs to be. Oh yeah, we can add it on. Nothing is standard. So if you're looking at Range Rover, it's like, bam, there's your Range Rover. You've got the glass ceiling roof. You've got the whole package that you want, leather seats, seating, blah, blah, blah. So it's our company is all about making women feel more confident and more beautiful from the inside to the outside. And our price range is also very competitive, but you don't have to buy all the extras all the time that you need to do with the other companies.
Okay, so I'm going to step back a little bit because usually if we design an ad, there's a lot of consulting that goes into it.
Of course.
I'm going to give you some principles that I use to help to craft ads, okay? So first of all, this all comes down to you're not selling a product anymore. When people were selling products in the past, let's say 100 years ago, it was about survival. You need warm clothes so you don't die in winter. You need a strong roof so that the house doesn't collapse on you. You need food so you don't starve. And especially, in World War II, everything was about necessity. Now, everybody's past the sustenance level. And if they're able to get online and use a credit card to buy something, then they're not struggling to survive. What they're looking for is they're buying feelings, right?
Yeah.
You purchase a feeling. When you buy a Toyota, for example, you're buying the feeling of security and efficiency and economy, right? When you are buying, for example, a Rolex, it's all status, right?
Oh, yeah.
Same with Mercedes-Benz. When you are buying something from Red Bull, it's about excitement and adventure. When you buy a Nike product, you're buying heroism. Nike has done a great job of taking their star athletes and making them into really big heroes. And you're buying the image of being a hero by wearing those same clothes. Yeah. So you're not selling hair extensions. You got to figure out what's the emotion you're selling with it. Now the thing is,
I would say confidence, because literally every woman you get feedback from is that I feel so beautiful. I feel so more confident. That is the words every time. Once, because obviously it's a dramatic result, instant result. You know, it's like short hair to like super beautiful long hair. And it's not just for the length, it's for the volume and the thickness. Because women really, because we always say a woman's hair is a crown. When you feel beautiful with your hair, like when you go to the salon, you have a hair day, you always want to go somewhere. You want to go out or have drinks or, you know, go do whatever. And then I promise you, like 95% of the people that buy from us, the first things that they say is that I feel confident. I feel so much more beautiful. That's all of their words.
That's amazing. So really, now this is the second part to this. The first part is you got to figure out what's the unique feeling.
Yeah, the USP.
Now, well, it's not really the offer. It's really the feeling, the emotion. Now, what I just explained there, you know, about Toyota, about Red Bull, about Nike, those are all the unique feelings that those brands represent. But there's actually one more feeling that all these brands have in common, that if you are a successful brand, you have nailed this, and that is the feeling of trust. If you cannot sell trust with your brand, then you don't have a brand, period. So this Toyota has economy and safety plus trust. Red Bull has excitement plus trust. Nike has heroism plus trust. So trust is actually the number one most powerful marketing strategy you can have. If every single video you make, every single content you make builds trust, then you're doing a great job already. The other unique one can come later. Now, the mistake most people think is, first of all, they don't even go to the emotion part. They go to logos, colors, mission statement, website. Yeah. And they think that's brand. And even those things are important, it's secondary to the feeling, the unique feeling that your brand represents. And that unique feeling is secondary to trust. And if everything you do out there builds trust, then you're doing a good job, period. So I say when you're thinking about this, first of all, that's a 3 test. You know, does it build trust? Does it help to build, does it sell a unique emotional feeling? Yeah. Right? And number 3, am I targeting the right people? Then you have a sale. That's it. Yeah.
Now, how would you say, do you build trust in an ad?
Okay, for example, there's a lot of things I do in the videos I make for my clients that I specifically ask myself, will it build trust or not? Now, one of the things is we don't use studios. We don't. Like, I don't go to a green screen or a white screen and have perfect lighting, because when it's so perfectly polished, people feel like, well, you know, like this looks really great, but you know, you're never going to be able to compete with the multi-million-dollar budgets that, you know, Nike and those guys are putting out there. So you're getting close, but you're not quite there. Yeah. If you have $1 million budget to do it, then I say go all out. But if you are really just a 4 or 5 man team, then use your phone, get out in the real world, and shoot your ads like you're a person talking to a person. Okay? Yeah. Build trust because they feel real and relatable. Number 2, we don't use scripts. We don't use teleprompters. Everything is all about coming from your source of deep knowledge. Yeah. Okay? And again, this is for people who, when you're getting started, do not really, I'm serious, do not try with, I don't know, if you have $10,000 or less of equipment, don't try to make $1 million production, because it's never going to feel like $1 million. Yeah. Exactly. It's going to look like you're trying.
There's a reason why $1 million productions look like $1 million production.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Those are 2 quick, simple tips I have. The third one is I really recommend getting a cameraman. You could get them for probably $100 for a couple hours, because of the fact that if you're focusing on operating your camera or your phone and also delivering the message at the same time, you're not going to be able to focus on the performance as well.
Of course.
The cameraman's going to be able to give you feedback. They're going to be able to tell you, like, look this way, or enunciate this word, or open it with a bit more energy, or put a bit more emphasis there. You need feedback from somebody else. It's not a one-man job. It's a two-man job to shoot anything. Thirdly, elicit questions. Get people to comment down below so you can engage with them. And once they comment below, really they are saying, in a way, I'm interested, I'm just not ready yet. And then you could start a chat with them, or you could have somebody else on your team start a chat and close a sale if they comment on the video. Yeah. So if you say something like, look, I don't know, maybe you've got 3 different colors, you've got blonde highlights, you've got brunette and ash gray. I don't know what they are, but let's say you have these 3. Say, look, tell me which one of these 3 are your favorite. And then people will start commenting colors below. And then somebody on your team can get down with them. Say, hey, I really love that you like the blonde highlights version. And I tell you more about it. You start a conversation, which can turn to a sale.
I love that. And the thing is, like, that type of video is all free, Like, if you do a live video or something on Facebook, it's all free. And if people are actually going to start commenting on your post in terms of what they really want, then you're actually getting into the psyche of your client. What do they really want?
That's right.
And okay, so next question. Top 5 apps for video.
So actually, this is going to be really interesting because I told you earlier, I have a tutorial where I'm going to show people how to make the viral style videos using only your phone. And I have actually my favorite apps in that tutorial. So guys, at the end of this video, I'm going to send the link to you right after this. Click the link and my answer is in there, where I give a really in-depth tutorial on exactly how to make the viral style videos using only your iPhone. Yeah,
because I think a lot of people are always wondering in terms of what app does she use, what app does he use to get the caption on the videos, and something that's on my iPhone, there we go, done, and not necessary to have a degree in video production on your PC,
Exactly. So yeah, catch this tutorial. I explain it a lot better because I actually demonstrated there.
Yeah. Okay, so my next question is, what is the difference between a normal video versus a video that goes viral?
Okay, so I think that there's a whiteboard thing I could do here. Hold on, let me see if I can do this. Could you see this whiteboard screen that I just put up?
Yep, I see it.
Okay, I've never done this on Zoom before, but let's see if I can get this straight.
Okay.
So first of all, you see that line?
Yep.
Okay, so all the videos I do fall under one of 4 categories, right? And first we have the up and down line, which I call HEV, high emotional value. Now, high emotional value can mean either one of 2 things. Either the person in the video is projecting a lot of energy and emotion on the person watching. The person is so excited. I know many years ago there was a video where one guy was so excited about a double rainbow, and I think he was high on weed. And everybody's seen a double rainbow before, but this guy was so excited that this video went crazy viral. That's an example of projecting high emotional value. When you elicit it, it's, for example, when you see maybe a cute kitten, who's just lying on its back, moving its paws like that, and you say, oh, that's so cute. That's eliciting. You're getting the person to watch it to have a high emotional reaction. Now, at the bottom, we have just the opposite, which is low emotional value. And this is going to be someone who's just bored. They look like they wish they were anywhere else but there. And this is typically what happens when beginners are trying to use a script. Okay? They're focusing so hard on making sure they get the script right that they completely forget about projecting emotion, and they're really nervous and stuff. So obviously, high emotional value, either projected or elicited, is opposite from low emotional value. On the left side, we have staged. And staged is, it looks like I said before, you're on a green screen, or it's so set up, and it looks like everything's been really rehearsed, okay? And on this side, we have real, where it really feels like you're just talking from the heart. It's conversational, and it's something that can happen just in the spur of the moment. So what do we do with this, right? On the bottom left here is what we call the snore zone, okay?
I love that.
Okay, and in the snore zone, typically the kind of videos you're going to have here. Let's see if I can type text up. I've never done this before. Oh, nice.
There we
Snore
go.
zone, we have political broadcasts.
Okay.
Okay, now these political broadcasts are going to be very typically a politician whose speech has been gone through by 5 or 6 different people who have never, who are the speechwriters, the editors, the proofreaders, and the person's job is to show is to be as calm as possible and share the information as factually as possible without making any mistakes. So it's boring, and the only people who watch this are the people whose job it is to watch it, or they're politicians themselves. So this is a snore zone. We want to stay away from there. Now up here, we have what I call the sell zone. Okay. Now, when someone comes to you and they say, "Oh my God, Erna, I got to tell you about this cup, right? This is made of crystal. It only costs $5 and it has a lifetime guarantee. Isn't that amazing?" There's a part of your brain that's going to register, the reptilian part of your brain is going to say, "This feels familiar," a bit like an infomercial, a bit like an ad. And the problem with this is that all of a sudden, they're going to have their guard up and they're going to think to themselves, "I better be careful and filter everything this person says because I might end up buying something I regret."
Yeah.
So this is the sell zone. Okay, you have high emotional value. The person's really excited and it's very, very staged. It feels extremely scripted, just like an ad or an infomercial would be. Okay, so we want to stay out of the sell zone.
Okay.
Down here, we have I just made a mistake here. This here is the dead zone, and this here is the snore zone, okay? And I'm gonna fix that in just a second. So, sorry, political broadcasts are really dead. Snore zone is when it's real, something that's really happening, but it's also boring. It's low emotion. People aren't getting excited about it. And this is what I would call watching golf on TV. Now, are they really playing golf? Yes. Is it real? Yes. Is it exciting? It is exciting, but only to a small niche of people. So let's say 2% of the audience is going to be engaged and excited, but 98% of the people, when they're not your niche, they're going to snore and they're going to flip onto another channel, right? So this, you only make this kind of video, and this can work if you're targeting a very narrow and very high spending niche. Then you want to make it. But if you want videos to go viral to the general public, then you want to move up here. Okay, up here is what we call the magic zone, okay?
Yeah.
And this magic zone is where things are high emotional value. Either you're projecting it or you're getting the person watching it to feel it, right? And it feels real. There's no script, there's no teleprompter, there's no TV set. It just feels like you're just there by yourself and having a conversation with somebody. And this is where things are most likely to go viral. Now, you want to make sure that everything you're doing, if you can focus on these two things, high emotional value, and does it feel real, then you have the very high chances of going viral. Does this make sense to you?
That's amazing. I've never seen this. I know that our listeners will get so much value from this. This is amazing.
This is what I do.
How can people get hold of you? If they want to book you to come and speak, or they want to become get your agency to do their stuff for them, how can people get hold of you? Okay, so
right now I work with very private clients, but you can email me. It's going to be support@ozmedia.global. I will link that to you later, so you can put that down below. We do not publicly broadcast ourselves because I have a very long waiting list already. But you caught me at a great time, and I was happy to do this interview. And again, I look for opportunities where it's exciting and it's fun, and I want to do more like this. But let me leave you with one final thing, okay? Now, that chart really is something that works well, but at the same time, sometimes it can be a bit overwhelming. But there's one more thing I want to show you. Right here with political broadcast, right? This is actually the dead zone. And something interesting happens every now and then is when the person is doing a political broadcast and they mess up and they say something really stupid. All of a sudden, this jumps from the dead zone straight to the magic zone. Why did it happen? Because number one, they don't look like a robot. They became a real human for a moment, right? Which is very rare and unexpected. And number two, it elicited a high emotional value. The person watching it laughed like crazy, and the person doing it got very embarrassed. So both things happened. The person projected a high emotional value of embarrassment, and the elicited one of laughter from the person watching, and the person became real. So that's just an example of how well this works when you realize that you can play with all these different zones, but be aware of what zone you're in all the time while you're doing it. Now here is a really simple way to gauge how you're doing, okay? And I'm as a guest of your show, I'm going to be very respectful, but I'm not going to say the word. I'm going to call it my poop video plan. I usually call it the S word, but so you got to think of this in it's 3 stages, okay?
Okay.
So this is called the poop video plan. Number one, you got to realize that most videos on social media are viewed while the person is sitting down taking a poop. Okay? So you got to picture in your mind when you're making your videos, number one, the person's on the toilet, okay? Taking a break from work.
Yeah.
Maybe, right? They don't have all day. You got 3 minutes. Your video should not be more than 3 minutes long. If it's longer, the person's saying, I don't got time for this. I'm going to scoot right over to the next one. Okay? So rule number one, 3 minutes long.
Okay, great.
Rule number two is that the person who's sitting there in the stall has somebody to the right side and someone to the left side, and they don't want their speakers on. That's so embarrassing, right?
Yeah.
So it's muted, and if their pants are down, they probably can't have the earphones on either. So what's the alternative? You need to have big, bold captions. The person needs to be able to consume your content even if they can't hear you. You need to have captions. Very important. And the link I'm going to send you is going to have a tutorial how you can do that with just your iPhone. No other apps, no computer necessary at all.
Awesome.
Okay?
Yeah.
And the captions, you want to make sure they're bigger than what you'd see on TV. Because when you watch TV, it's a big, 40-inch or 60-inch monitor, so it's easy to read. Yeah. On mobile, it's very small, so proportionately, it's got to be bigger than normal. So look at some successful videos, copy what size fonts they're using. Okay? So we got 2 rules. So rule number 1, you got 3 minutes, right?
Yeah.
You want to be in and out. Rule number 2, big captions. Rule number 3, realize that there's actually more than one person in that bathroom stall. There's a person watching the video, and then there's you. That means there's 2 people in a very intimate setting, in a toilet together. Yeah. So this is something that needs to be reminded to people who are used to speaking on stages. They usually say, hey, everybody, how many of you? Now, the moment you say that, you lose the connection with the person sitting, taking a poop, because it doesn't feel like a conversation anymore. Talk to people intimately and always talk to one person. Yeah. Say you, or have you ever felt, or you and me. Use terms like that, and all of a sudden, they're going to feel connected to you. Okay? So, again, that's my poop video plan. Number 1, you got 3 minutes to be in and out. Yeah. Number 2, gold captions, super important. Number 3, remember it's a one-on-one intimate conversation inside of a bathroom stall.
Amazing. Again, thank you so very much for giving all this valuable content and information. I mean, this is exactly what we're all about in terms of the woman entrepreneur and what we stand for. We truly want to help women build successful businesses with valuable information like this. Thank you so much for your time and for helping women succeed in business.
Well, thank you. It was a pleasure. And I'll get you those links in a second. Please do check it out. The tutorial is really easy to use. And,
yes, please send me the tutorial because I want to get that on a newsletter to our members as well, so they can just click it from there and
Love it.
Awesome.
All right, Erna, have a great day.
And have a great one. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
You've been listening to the Woman Entrepreneur Podcast, the #1 success platform for female entrepreneurs. Visit our website, womanentrepreneur.co, for your daily motivation and business growth expert advice. Until next time, play big, think big, and impress yourself.